Hello, hey guys, hey everyone. So we're getting started on building a simple app using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So this is my bootcamp page on GitHub, and this is my wiki. So on my wiki, I will have all the information and all the updates that are coming very soon. So stay tuned and keep watching the wiki. So the web app that we're building today is a bunch of cards, flippable cards. So we've called these albums here. These are the images and album names, and you can also interact with them. So when you click on them, they'll flip, and you can see the songs, the release year, other details behind the album. So let's get started. We have this HTML, which I've coded, which has no CSS right now. It is just text, the div structure, and the images. The images are of various sizes, so we'll have to find a way to standardize the images, make them look like in the same standard cards. So we'll figure out for those. So starting which I have commented out even my bootstrap. So bootstrap, if we comment it in, the text will look a little better. But oh yeah, that's some nice jazz playing in the background. So the text looks better, but we were going to fly solo. We will have no bootstrap today to save us. So let's comment that out and let's go back to Barebones HTML. So we have the body. Now after the body, we have the title, which is this top voted albums this week. So we'll try to, because I don't have a script today, so I'm going to allow myself to cheat a little. I have got the solution right under me, but because these are like 15 different sections, which even if I miss one, now the critical parts, the application might take more time than normal. So I will look at my cheat sheet from time to time. So let's get started with the title. So let me hammer in the title ID. What we have is color, some normal basic stuff. So we have a hash 20862026. That's fine. And we have the font family. We can let go of that. Font size. So this will make the size. So let's see how this looks. So this is the list size, and we can increase this a bit. So let's go for a 600 look. So this will not work with this particular font family, so we have to change the font family. Okay, let's do this. Let's change the font family. So this family is Dosis, and we have sans serif to back it up. Let's see, this works. So this is my font size. Yeah, now it comes in. Now it kicks in. So it looks bigger than the application that you're trying to build. So let's increase the font size. Font size is 50px. The size is increased. Text align center like we saw there. So this is my VS Code, and my VS Code extensions are helping to autocomplete. So you should also take help from your autocomplete. It is a very good tool. And we'll have a mandatory display block, but I think I can let go of that. So we don't need the display block. The header looks good. So now let's go with the cards. So the cards are basically all of this. So if you see the cards, let me put a color behind them. So if I put a color tomato between them, you can see what are the cards. The cards is the entire container for the 4 divs. So that is the cards div, and I will try to put some flex components on this. So let's comment it out with control and slash. For the cards, let's have a display. So flex, our preferred one, and then we have a direction, flex direction. So column or row, for us it is column. And then we have a position relative, which is not important right now. Then we have a justify. So we have to justify our content. Do we have a center? Yeah, we can go for a center. And compare with this, we can have align content. So they're left, but we can stay in the center again. So align content, put it in the center, and align the items also in the center. So align items to center. So now all the cards will fall into the center. So you can see all of the cards are now in the center, looking good. So we have started with one card. Now next we have to go into the card single. So inside the cards container is the card single class. Let's have a look at that. So that has a background cards single class. That one has a soft background. So let's go for the background of 978.0cc. That one that we have. Let's save it. So this we see the background now immediately hitting each of the cards. So because of the images are making the cards to be of different shape. So we have to fix the image size at some point. So I put the background on the card single. Let's see what else we have. We have the display flex. Yes, and the flex direction column here as well. So in the card single, now you see there is some spacing that immediately kicks in once you put the flex direction. After putting the flex direction, now we can look at the margin and the width. So margin is 20, margin top we are putting 20px. So let's put 2 rem. So we can use 2 rem and put the width to 80%. So let's see how this looks once we have the 8. So now the cards are of the same size, but the images are now overflowing or being smaller than the cards. The cards are of the same width now. After the width, we'll also block the width because we don't want it to be too wide in widescreens. So in max width I have found 320px as a good size. So that looks good over here. It fixes over here, okay. And then after the max width, let's see the next, what is there after max width. We have a border radius. We are trying to have a rounded, like you remember from this application, there are some rounded corners to the cards. So we'll also try to round this up. So the border radius of 1 rem. So 1 rem is like 16 pixel. So that will get all our borders rounded. I guess the images also need to be rounded, so we have to do that. We'll keep that in mind. We have to keep the image borders as well. Now there's some box shadow. So box shadow, we have not box sizing but box shadow. So we have 0, so nothing on the x direction, 5px offset on the y direction, 18px of fade. So the color, it will take 18px of fading of the color, and it's a 0.6, so it's black with a 0.6 alpha, so that we can also similar to write 0, 0, 0, and for alpha we can have a 6. So look at that. Let's see how the shadow comes in. Yeah, the shadow has come. We can see the shadow like the other in the sample. So now we have the shadow under the cards. After the shadow, what is the next thing? We will look at the cursor pointer. Yeah, this is important because when we are hovering on these cards, we want it to change to a pointer so that the user knows that this is a clickable element. So for that, we'll have cursor pointer. That's right. After cursor pointer, now let's go. We have a text align center. So we have seen in the application solution, final solution, that we have center. So once we put in center, everything will come at the center. So the images, the text, everything is now in the center. The bigger images is kind of offset, but the rest of them are centered in the div. So because of the bigger images, we have a horizontal scroll here as well. So we have to get rid of this horizontal scroll because that is discouraged generally on the body. You can have on small elements in the sub-element sections, but not on the whole body, unless there is a really good reason to have that. So we've got the text align done, and after the text align, we have some transitions. Transitions we will do later, some positions, and so the transitions can wait for some time. Now the images. Now let's attack the images. These are the next ones, which are like all over the place. So we have the cards image, and let's now fix there. Was it cards image or cards image. Yeah, the cards image. So text align center as well, which I don't think is necessary because there is only one image. The border radius is 1 rem and the width is 100%. Okay, so let's do that. Border radius is 1 rem, that is necessary. So if I save, the images will have rounded, will start having a rounded corners, and the width is now going to be fixed within 100%. This would look good, I think. As soon as I put 100%, the images are now strictly within the cards. So without flipping, now it's looking good. All the information is on one side of the card, and the images are also nice and cozy inside this. So we can definitely now work on how we can make this flippable. Remember that once again, our cards has to be flippable. So we have both the sides on the same front face. So now we have to take the back side of the cards onto the back, and then add that flippable action. Okay, so cards images are done. Let's see what the styles we have in card image. There is a card single flip, so there's a transform part which is under JS. So this is the animation part, so we'll leave it now. Cards artist, cards album. So there is a color, cards artist and cards album. So we'll put that color as well. So cards artist and cards album both gets a color that we had to, that color, the bluish color 202060. So they get that color, the text, good. And then we have cards front. So the img on the cards front will have no margin and the height will be fixed at 250px. So cards front img will have a height of 250px. This will make some changes, visible changes. So the bigger images will now fit in. So there will be some stretch. We are not going for the cover look, we are going for a stretch look. So we'll fix the height, and also with the height there will also margin of 0. So currently it's not making much difference, but okay, let's leave it for now. Let's see if it makes some difference, and then we'll put the margin. So remember this for later. Cards album. Okay, cards album font style is italic. Yeah, this is good. So cards album, to differentiate it from the others text, so font style, good thing, italic. Yes, so we can immediately make the difference with the cards album. Yes, it turns italic. So the italic is a good touch. That's a good touch for the tagline of the album. Cards album. After that we'll cross by that. H2 has some margin and text align, but anyways we've already done that. LIs have a line height of 32 pixels, that would be useful. So LI list items will have a line height of 21 pixel. Let's see how it looks. I think it will increase. Yeah, so can we have it as 2 rem? Will it look too spacey? Maybe it has a lot of, yeah, it gets too spacey. So 21px, let it be. What is the default? I think that's optimized. It's optimized size. So the LI is in place. So I've coded in the LI. Now the cards front and the card back. So we need display flex on those cards front and the cards back. Cards grants. No, it's cards front and cards back. Okay, nice. So display is flex, or like we have done it too many times. So by now we know that also direction will be columns definitely. Is it? Yeah, the flex direction column, and the back face visibility is hidden. So flex direction is flex direction is column, and the back face visibility is hidden. So anything on the back will have it hidden, and the hidden behind the front. Okay, so front and the back is done. Card's front. The card's front will take the whole entire height. So now this will make some good changes. Card's front taking up the entire height, 100%. So now the card's front takes up the entire height. We also have some transform, but we are leaving the transforms for the end. Now let's look at the card's back. So we are almost at the end of our styles, because what is left only the media queries for small screens. So at the card's back, what are the things that we have in the card's back? There's a text line center. We have already done that. Text, I don't think that is necessary at this point. We can avoid the text align. And other than that, what else? We have a position absolute, so left, so cards, back. What are the things needed? Position is absolute. This is going to hide this. Top 0, right 0. So if I save this, yes, they have gone over to that place. They've gone, all of them has gone over another place because we have not put relative. So remember, we have not put the relative thing in the cards. So any card single needs to have that positions relative. Then only those will not go all to the right, but will be stuck within the respective parents. So once I put it the absolute, sorry, to relative. Yeah. So now let's see. These are now in the right place. These are stuck on the back, but these are within their own containers. So now the cards have started to take shape. Let's see what we can do about the song text. For that we have to change the card back. What is the changes that we have to do in the card back? So you have the position top right. Let's see what else. A border radius of 16 px, so 1 rem. A border radius of 1 rem. So today I have no script, I'm just freestyling, so there will be some errors. I don't have my script ready, and my mouse is also acting weird. It has got some dust stuck, I think, so bear with me on this one. Cards back, border radius of 1 rem. Color, let's ignore that one. Background color is khaki. Yeah, that's a good color. Background color khaki. I think this will start showing immediately. Yes, so you can see the background color is a nice contrast to the foreground. After putting the background color, now let's have a height 100%, and we'll leave out the transform. So let's have the height. So at some point I think the height and the width will also make a difference. So if I fix the height, that goes in. So I think width also should be there. Width 100%. Yeah. So the 100% it takes over. So now it is just the back one, and it is hidden. The front face is hidden. So now the rotate part will start to make sense. So let's go and check where is the rotate part. The rotate will be on the entire card. So I'm expecting it to be on the card single. The card single rotate. Yeah, the card single and the flip. So whenever we add the flip tag, whenever we add the flip class, the transform will be rotate y of 180 degrees. But that will be with JavaScript, so we will be toggling that flip class. But before that also there is some transforms. So in card single we have a transform, we have a transition, and that is transform 0.6 second. So we have transform, transition, transform in 0.6 second. Nice. So the cursor is looking, the pointer cursor is doing its work. So whenever we are hovering between, there is no pointer. But the moment we come into the cards, it becomes a clickable element. So now let's see, we have the perspective in the cards. We have to put the perspectives in the card. Let's put the perspective in there, which is 1000 px for us. And also, so in the small screens, this is currently the column area, but in the small screens we want to be the row. So let's look at the media queries. The media queries, we have, let's add some media queries now. Add media, and in the media what we have, min width of 768, so anything over this, so min width 768, min width of 768 px, yes, min width of 768 px, cards and card single, so dot cards, I think only one, most of the thing is same, only the flex direction just goes to row because now we have more space. So if this one is a row, it will go into a card row, right? So min width will do this, whereas max width it will be just opposite. Okay, so justify content, space around, here we are going to do the justify content, justify content, space around. So here it is like neck to neck, there is no space to go between. And do we need a gap? Should we put a gap in between? Perspective is still 1000 and there is a flex wrap. The flex wrap is required, position is relative. Position is relative. Relative. Align items. Center, or was it? No, there was no line, so we can go to the next line. And here we have position of relative, align items are stretch, let's stretch, and we have a flex wrap, so flex wrap, we'll do a wrap. So if we have flex wrap, I think it will come in, yeah, it will come in two different places. So now it has taken that structure 2 by 2 and it's still not clickable. I'm clicking on them, they're not clickable. So it's already hooked in the JavaScript. We can see here we have the card singles we have selected and we have added that toggle flip, a simple one statement. And yes, we have taken care of not polluting the global namespace. So all our functions are in caps, has their own namespace. And whenever we call our functions, we do it with the help of our namespace. So just like console.log, we have sasban.flipcard. So if we click on this, this is supposed to click, and we are just in the last few bits where we have to make sure that all the transition and the transformations are happening. So currently we are missing some parts, so let's check. Card single, there is some cards single, card single, width 20% and min width is 400 pixel, width 20%, min width is 400 px, that's right. So I think now this will become whiter. Yeah, now it starts to resemble what we have in our final row. Okay, now let's look at the card single part. So we have some transition of 0.5s, transition of 0.5s. That rotate y, we have rotate y degree, 90 degrees rotation, so those will be on transition. Card single dot flip. So now since we have all the parts together, I think we can do the card single dot flip. Let's add that part at the end before the media queries. So card single here before the media queries, card single dot flip, and what it does is transform, rotate y, and the angle is 180 degrees. So because of this, now we should be able to put rotation, the rotation that is going to come. So we have rotate y on the transform, right? We have rotate y on transform, card single flip. Then on the card's front, we have a transform of rotate x, card's front. So here is a card's front. On the card's front, we have a transform of what? Remember, it's rotate x and 0 deg. So that should get, it's refreshed. So let's refresh it here. So we have the rotate x on transform on the card's front. Here's the card's front, we have put the transform. Card's back. In the card's back, we have a rotate y. So transform rotate y is on the card's back. So card's front, and then card's back. So on this one, rotate transform, rotate y, and put this as 180 deg. So immediately this thing comes in. So the card's back goes to the behind, and only the back face is visible. Only the front face is visible. So we can't see what is on the back. Now we need 3D one last line. I think that preserve 3D line on the card single. So transform style on the card single. Transform style. Let's find out the card's transform style, which is the big one. So we have transform style, and that is preserve 3D. Then only it will maintain what is there at the back, so it will come to the front. Only then the preserve 3D will happen on the card's single. Card's image, card's single dot flip is a transform of 180 degrees. Card's single flip is a transform of rotate y 180 degrees. Card's front and back, display flex card's front and back. The common properties, they have backface visibility hidden. Preserve the 3D. Backface visibility is hidden. Card's back, so we have line, left, right, color, background, transform, rotate y of 180 degrees. Position relative for the cards. Maybe that is the important part. What do you think? Position relative, do you need that? Position relative, position relative. So it's refreshed. What else do we have on the cards now? In the media queries, display, justify content, align content, flex wrap, position, align item, stretch, and perspective of 1000px. Item stretch and a perspective of 1000px. Let's save that. So our image, it's behind this cards. We have to find what is going missing for this particular one single style that is causing the spoil sport. Like always, check the cards. Single width, min width of 400px, 20%, min width of 20%, 40px, row, space around, row and space around, align content center for the cards, align content center. Align the content. Can you figure out what is going wrong? Where exactly is the problem? So right, left on the cards back. Cards back. It's not top 0 and right 0, it is left 0. And with that, all of them will fall in the same place. So left is 0, right is 0, position, all the positions in place. So we have to check if we have missed any of the positions. Cards has a position of relative. So the cards, we have not put that position relative on the cards. So once you put that in, the position relative is coming in after the cards. Where else? So we have a nifty tool of Control D. Once we do Control D, we can see where exactly they are. Cards single, cards back, and in the media queries. So 2 of them not required. And let's see where else. So in the cards single, in the cards back it's absolute, and in the cards relative there are 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4, so 4 positions. And relatives are 1, 2, 3 in the media queries, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have all the 3 relatives and 1 absolute. So which one is absolute? There is absolute position. The absolute position here, and it appears once. There are 3 times. So it's on the card back, cards back here, cards back there. So 87, line number 87. We are troubleshooting in real time. So 87, 218, 87, 218. So once only absolute. Cards back. What else is there on the cards back? So let's check. Cards back has some right 0, left 0, border radius, background color, height is 100% on the cards back. Cards back, height. Cards single is also one of the big style elements. So to see if we have missed anything in the cards single. Cards single, we have a transform style of preserve 3D. We have a transition of transform 0.6x. Position is relative in this one. Transition is 0.5s. Transition 0.5s, and there is a WebKit transition. So there's two transforms. There are two transforms. There are two transitions. Is it the order of these things that are throwing it off? So let's copy the whole thing. Text align center. Till this we know all the CSS are just style things, but last 6 lines, these 6 lines and the preserve 3D. So we have to put those in that order probably. That's why it is throwing it up. So before the preserve 3D and text align. So we have that, and the position relative will work. So we have the transitions. We have the transitions in place. Cards, the title, the card single, the card image having the border radius and weight in the card's image. There was a text align thing, so that cannot be the culprit, but let's put it in. Text align center. That's a refresh. Let's see if we can remove this text. Will it work? So if there are other styles that are stopping this from working, both the styles will come together and maybe then it will start working. So yes, definitely something was breaking it, something is missing. And we also have a large line height, so we have to get rid of that line height. On the LI, the LI has a line. I've increased this one 32, so no need to increase this one. This has to be 21. Yeah, so one particular, all the pieces are in place, but there is one particular maybe a spelling mistake that is causing this to break off. But yeah, so this is the final thing that we want to achieve. So I will get all my code in my Git repository. So here is my Git repository once again, bootcamp. So I am updating it regularly, and you can find all the code here. Also, I want to take this opportunity. Let me introduce you to my new course that is coming. I am creating this new course and launching on Udemy. So it will be a continued web development and regular committing, daily working on some projects. So I have already earmarked some projects. We have all this what you learn, so you can figure out what are the things that you can learn. And I'm uploading all my lectures. So there is a course content as of now. We have like 13 sections with 24 lectures as of now, and I'm adding more. The requirements, so it is for intermediate users if you have done one bootcamp and relatively comfortable working with code. This is the course for you. The description, I have just written one paragraph and copied it because there was a 200-word limit. The course is for junior developers, and so developers, it's not a beginner friendly course. You need to know some of the troubleshooting, so you should be able to troubleshoot some of the parts. And here is my instructor details. So I'm just starting out, even though I have trained 100k plus students before, but this is my first jaunt on Udemy. So hopefully it will be nice making some course and bringing some latest applications to you, and there will be no need to complain. So my tagline is no more legacy devs, build a rich GitHub profile with the latest in JavaScript, React, Node, REST, Python, D3.js, full stack. So there will be no outdated, and I will be working regularly to update all the applications. So even though the tech stack might go stale, but we will always we'll keep the idea, we'll keep the web app, and we will upgrade to a newer tech stack, or we'll move to new dependencies so that our application is still functional. And that will be a nice challenge. That will be a nifty challenge once for a little bit of intermediate advanced coders to take up outdated tech and then achieve similar or better results with new tech, the new tech that's coming in. So with that, we'll be signing off today. It was a great pleasure to do this today, and hopefully nice music. It was nice evening over here in Bangalore, and so I'll catch up with you guys on the next video with another new app. So I'm thinking probably a game app using JavaScript or React.js, and we'll building it. So bye bye, take care, and let's meet soon.